By 841, the Carolingian Empire, once the most powerful kingdom in Western Europe, was tearing itself apart. The grandsons of Charlemagne, once allies, had turned into bitter rivals. Their struggle for power would bring thousands of warriors to the battlefield in one of the largest and bloodiest battles of the early medieval period. At Fontenoy, the ancestors of modern France and Germany fought against each other in a brutal civil war that would decide the future of Europe. The year is 841. Franks versus Franks. A divided empire faces its greatest internal conflict. For years, Charlemagne's empire had been ruled by his son, Louis the Pious. But after Louis' death, his sons Lothair, Charles the Bald, and Louis the German each wanted control over the empire. Tensions erupted into open war. Lothair, the eldest, claimed the imperial throne and gathered an army to crush his brothers. Charles and Louis, unwilling to surrender, formed an alliance to fight for their share of the empire. The two sides met at Fontenoy in central France. This was no small skirmish. Tens of thousands of heavily armed Frankish warriors clashed in an all-out battle. Lothair's forces, positioned on the high ground, tried to hold their defensive position while launching cavalry charges. Charles and Louis responded with a coordinated assault, using infantry and archers to weaken Lothair's formations before sending in their own cavalry. The fighting was brutal and chaotic. The battlefield became a slaughter as neither side was willing to retreat. After hours of combat, Charles the Bald and Louis the German gained the upper hand. Lothair's forces were pushed back, but the victory was incomplete. He managed to retreat with much of his army intact. The battle was over, but the war was far from finished. This wasn't just a family feud, it was the beginning of the end for the Carolingian Empire. 3 years later, in 843, the empire was officially divided under the Treaty of Verdun, splitting Charlemagne's legacy into 3 separate kingdoms. This division would shape the borders of modern France and Germany. But could a stronger Carolingian emperor have prevented war? Some historians suggest that a clear succession plan could have kept the empire united. If Louis the Pious had ensured equal power sharing among his sons, could the civil war have been avoided? Or was the empire simply too large and unstable to survive? Like and subscribe for more historical breakdowns.